Today, I get to share my favorite productivity strategy with you, and that is time blocking. I have been time blocking successfully over the last 10 years, and it is more than just a pretty color-coded calendar. Time blocking actually keeps you really laser focused and keeps you from getting distracted throughout the day because you know exactly what you're going to do and when. It also helps you be more realistic about what you can actually accomplish in a day because unfortunately, our time is limited, and so we have to maximize the time that we do have. I'm going to show you how to do that with Google Calendar and the time blocking method. But if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kalyn. We talk about all things planning, productivity, and personal growth on this channel. So if you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and just take a few seconds to do that, and you will get notified when I release another one. First of all, what is time blocking? Time blocking is where you literally divide out your day among specific activities. So you've already done this with calendar events where you usually have a start time and an end time. You can also do this with routines and your tasks. Basically, anything that you want to squeeze into a day and make time for, you can time block it. And that way, you know you have enough time to get it all done. Now, if you want to be really efficient, you can actually combine the time blocking method with the task batching method. And task batching is basically grouping similar type tasks together into one time block. This is a strategy that really keeps you in the groove of the same type of task that you're doing. This is kind of an insane example, but you would not run to the grocery store and then drive back home and clean your bathroom and then go back out and fill up your fuel tank because that is not an efficient way to do things. So as you are time blocking, think through what tasks are similar that you could group together in one block to keep you in the same groove, and that way your brain doesn't have to shift out of one task type to another and you can stay focused. To get started with time blocking, you want to find a calendar app. I have tried Cozy, Crone, iCal, and I keep coming back to Google Calendar because it's free and I can also have a really cute widget on my phone that tells me exactly what time block is coming up next. It would really be ideal if you would combine tasks with an actual calendar. That would make a lot of sense. But Google Tasks is really not that intuitive, and so I completely ignore it and instead use Notion for my master task list. So in Notion, I'm adding all the tasks that I need to do in the future. I'm assigning a due date, and then when I plan my week, it resurfaces where I need it to be. If you want to learn more about task management inside Notion, I have done a whole video on that, and it comes with a free master task list template. So I'll leave the link in the description below so you can check it out. Enough talking about time blocking. Let's actually go see it in action and take a look at my calendar. This is one of the really cool things about Google Calendar. You can create as many calendars as you want and show them all on one screen. So this could be useful if you want to divide your events from your routines, from your tasks, or if you want to have different calendars and different color codes for every member in your family. Adding a new calendar is really simple. You can just scroll down to the plus sign and click Create New Calendar. You can rename it whatever you want. You can share it with whomever you want if you need to do that. And then to change the color, because this is the pretty exciting part, you can click the three dots to the right and you can choose from any of Google's native colors. They have added more in the last few years, but I still don't feel like these are soothing, calming colors because when I open up my Google Calendar, I don't want it to feel chaotic. I want it to feel calm and cohesive. So to add a completely custom color, you can click the plus sign and then add a new hex code, or you can move this dot around to find the color that you want. Here's a pro tip. Go to Pinterest and just type in maybe a color palette like soothing color palette or boho color palette, beachy color palette, whatever it is, and you are going to find palettes that pop up that you can then take the hex codes and apply them to your calendar. Color coding is obviously not necessary, but let's be real, it makes things really pretty. And also, I can see the different task types and the different routines that I have at a glance, so I find it really helpful. I have different calendars divided into appointments and events, routines, and then types of tasks. So let me just go through them really quickly. The main Google Calendar, I've renamed events and appointments. So these are anything that has a hard start and end time that I have to be somewhere or in a meeting or anything like that. My work calendar is simply a routine calendar. So these are these light blue blocks here that show me when I'm going to be working for the day. And that way I can shift them. Like here, I had a hair appointment on Wednesday, so I had to shift my work blocks down a little bit to make sure that I got in my hours. Then I have an actual routines calendar. The reason why my work type routine, the hours that I typically work, is different from my normal routines, like the morning, evening, lunch, my startup and shutdown routine, is because I wanted those to be two different colors so that my work block stood out and then my other routines stood out. Then I have an education block. Continuous learning is very important to me, so I always try in the evening at least once a week to work through a course that I'm currently in. Home calendar is any task related to the home. The next calendar is my Tiger Time calendar, and I got that term from Amy Porterfield. She's an online marketer and business owner, and she said that your Tiger Time is time that you want to protect like a mother tiger would her cub. So these are times of intense focus, the tasks that usually take an hour or more to complete that I really need to be in deep heads down work for. So I like to layer those time blocks on top of my work time block. So anything like on Friday, which is my like catch up day, I don't put a lot of brain intensive work over there. It's just a work block. I'm just doing busy work, little things, catching up on tasks that I didn't complete throughout the week on Friday. But for the tasks that require more concentration, I want to know exactly when in my workday I'm planning on working on them. Then I have a theme days calendar that follows my energy that I have throughout the week. On Monday, it's a potato day. I have a video all about what happens on my potato day, so that's a way for me to ease into my week. Then I have 3 deep work days, and then Friday, like I said, is a wrap up and plan for next week day and catch up on tasks that I didn't get to throughout the week. Open roading calendar, that's my travel brand, so any filming days or projects that we're filming go on there, designing thumbnails, anything related to that brand. It's not making a lot of money yet, it's still a hobby, so I tend to do those in the evenings and try to keep my actual work days related to this business. Birthday calendar, of course, and then also like under here with other calendars, you can add a calendar that Google already has integrated for holidays. So that is up here, the same colors as my theme days, and then a travel and activities calendar, which is related to us traveling in the RV. So when we're moving to a different location or we're deciding to go out and do something fun and explore the area that we're currently in. Oh, and there is a task calendar under here, which we already talked about. I don't use it. This is what my calendar looks like all filled in, but it doesn't start that way. Let me move a couple weeks ahead to a quote unquote blank week where you can see I have a base template set up of some recurring blocks that just happen continuously into the future. My theme days are there, my routine blocks are there, including my work routines. I have some home tasks, the clean RV, the planning week that happen every single week, and then my evening routine at the end. The reason why I like to see this is because this is what an ideal week looks like, and then I can adjust it when I get to my weekly planning session every Friday. To add a recurring block, you just click into whatever block you need to add a calendar item to, and then you can go into more options and you can click the does not repeat drop down, and it's going to give you a lot of different options. You can even do a totally custom option, like if you wanted it to repeat the second Tuesday of the month and twice a month, or however you want to set it up, Google Calendar can handle it. The other thing that I like that Google Calendar does is when you move time blocks, so like this Wednesday when I had the hair appointment and I had to move my work block from the morning into the afternoon and evening, I can just drag and drop that block, and it asks me if I want to edit just this event or all the events recurring afterwards. And so I like that it has that option, because let's say you wanted to change your morning routine like forever and ever from 7 to 6:30 or whatever it is, you could just do that in one click. You don't have to go in individually to each day, to each time block to change it. And then once you've customized your ideal week to how it's going to look for this current week, because every week can look different, then you start having an actual schedule that you can follow. By the way, you can have different views in Google Calendar. You don't just have to look at your week. You can also look at it in terms of a day view or a month view. I just don't find these views extremely helpful because I have so many different calendars and time blocks on there. I'd have to click all these 4 more, 5 more to be able to see what's going on. So I only keep it on the week view, and then if I need to look ahead a couple of weeks, I just use these toggle arrows. But at least you have the option to view your calendar in different ways if you wanted to. If you are someone who gets really stressed out seeing your calendar blocked out like this and you feel like it's a rigid schedule that you can't change for maybe when a task takes longer than you think it will, or a child gets sick and it throws your day completely off, then you may want to skip this strategy. However, I want you to know that because we're using a digital calendar here and not an hour by hour paper planner where you literally have to white out changes if you want to make them, you can easily make changes to this calendar. This is not a set in stone schedule that you cannot deviate from. I had one day a few weeks ago where there was a vet appointment in the morning. I thought for sure I would be home early afternoon and can get a few hours of work in. Well, it turns out they needed to do a CT scan, so I was waiting around for results, and I didn't get home till like 7 p.m. Because I'm using Google Calendar, it's entirely flexible. I can just drag and drop those time blocks to a different day. So this is not a schedule that cannot change, but it does give you a starting point for how you want your day to look. But if you are going to try time blocking, I do have a major tip for you, and that is to leave white space in your calendar. I would just try to add extra margin in your schedule if you can. Don't time block every hour. Leave some buffer space for tasks to go over, for you to, if you get up late one morning and you need to move tasks down your day, you have room to do so. This is why I don't time block every hour of my day, because you need margin, you need breathing room, and both of those are going to help you take a realistic approach to your day. I really think that after your first successful week of time blocking, you are going to see that this time management strategy is a game changer. Instead of being anxious about what you have to get done for the day, you're going to be a lot more strategic and intentional about your approach. So if you are going to try time blocking for the very first time, let me know in the comments, and also let me know if you tried time blocking in the past and it didn't work for some reason and you're anxious to try it again. I love to know that too. I love connecting with you guys in the comments. Make sure you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you in the next one.